Welcome from Pax Europiana here from Schönbrunn. It's a very wonderful place. I will show you some of the most important sides of this place. I really love it. It's a spectacular obelisk of Joseph II. He, by the way, has secularized Austria, and Triton Abazovic unfortunately seems to desecularize Montenegro. So please think about it, don't do it. That's only for my friends in Montenegro. But what I want to call here today is a very important topic. That's the question of war and peace in Europe. And what I call now is that we start to end the use of Russian energy in the European Union. I call my Eastern European friends, set an example, end all nuclear cooperation with Russia. So it's essential to end all the import of uranium into the European Union, and similar like Ukraine has already done it, to stop all the nuclear cooperation. It's expensive, I know, but we have nuclear technology as well in Europe, and you can do it. And that's absolutely necessary right now. And that's only the prelude of decoupling our energy system from the Russian system. But the Eastern Europeans, they want the Germans and Austrians to exit gas, some of them not, but I will come to that. So, first of all, end all nuclear cooperation with Russia. Secondly is, let's end all gas cooperation with Russia. So ban all gas imports immediately. And not just immediately, but immediately now to stop the flows. Tomorrow is the day when the Russians will start again the Nord Stream 1. Luckily we got rid of Nord Stream 2. Now it's time to get rid of Nord Stream 1 as well. How to do it? The Germans desperately want it, because for many in Germany and Austria it's more important to have gas than peace. So Ukrainians really don't matter so much, and when you watch German television you see that this is absolutely the priority. It's no longer the report about the war or that Ukraine is a victim. That doesn't matter for them. What matters is only one thing, that is to have gas, like we would eat and drink and breathe it. Yeah, it's absolutely exaggerated, because it's ultimately only 15% of the European supply, which comes from Russia, and we can easily save that within half a year. The EU has already made the direction what we can do, and this is simply what we have to do. And the rest is more imports, less consumption, changing of the energy mix, more solar, more wind, more water power, more coal, yes, more coal, and more nuclear. If necessary, we can prolong the German nuclear powers, absolutely fine, we did that since 50 years. And we can also use coal a bit longer, but under European technology. And not Russian nuclear, or not Russian coal, not kind of improvised coal, but European technology. At current prices this pays off as well. If you do clean coal, you gasify it and it's not so a problem. The coal is not the devil is Putin. So, and how we do that now? And I want to make it very clear, because otherwise you get confused. It's very beautiful. From the Roman Empire already, some really beautiful old remains. So what we need to do is two things. First of all, I call on Ukraine to strike the facilities of Nord Stream 1 with one of the torpedoes they got now. Use them, strike it hard, destroy the infrastructure of the Russians in the Baltic and in the Black Sea immediately. Because the Germans and the Turks will always be sucking in this gas if it's technically possible. They will never have the decency or dignity to end the Russian gas consumption. It must be physically destroyed, the infrastructure of the Russians under the Baltic and the Black Sea. Both with targeted strikes, it must be physically destroyed, the infrastructure of the devil, of Putin. His gas infrastructure must be completely destroyed. That is very important. Thirdly, after these two strikes, it's important that the Ukrainians, they also stop to consume Russian gas and transit it, because it's utterly unacceptable. They tell us to stop using it, but they transport it and use it themselves. So we need that the Ukrainians stop and physically close the remaining Drushba Pipeline, Russia-Ukraine, at the Russian-Ukrainian border, cut it, interrupt it, close it, finish. These are the 3 points where these terrible things of the Russians are entering our European continent. They're corrupting our political elite. They are paying our politicians. They're destroying our environment. They are corrupting our energy transition. They are delaying it. And they are also funding their own war against Ukraine and Europe. I call it our war. And this is absolutely terrible. And it's funding the Russian regime stronghold on their own society. It's not just the Ukrainians, it's also the Russians who are suppressed by this terror regime, which took hold 22 years ago, when Putin in that coup took power, and it was very terrible. So that's the situation. A double strike to the Baltic and Black Sea pipelines of Putin, and the cut-off of the Russian energy. That will put Europe on a cold turkey in the summer 2022, but it's lucky. We are anyhow at a very hot summer, so we will not immediately be freezing. And we have from now July, mid of July, we have 5 months until it's very cold in Europe. And I know it will be difficult. We have to import more from other countries. We have to make a deal with Saudi Arabia, with Algeria. We have to make a deal with also other countries which are not democracies. I know that very well, like Azerbaijan. Well done, Mrs. Ursula von der Leyen. Well done as well, Qatar. This was all necessary because there is no tanks of them in Ukraine. And that's, for the moment, everything that matters. We have to get Russia out of Ukraine, and we have to destroy their power base, which is ultimately our energy consumption. So we have to shift it away from Russian consumption. They can sell it to our other enemies, and they can choose if they want to stay in that camp or not. And everybody else who is not trading with Russia can have a free trade agreement with us. It's quite simple. It's quite fair. It's absolutely doable. And it's beautiful here in Chempron. Yes, I will give you the Gloriette. Here, this is also very beautiful. And this is a very nice moment here where I call for the end of Russian power over Austria, because we are very much a money laundering center of Russia, and we should also forbid Russian investment and confiscate everything they have in our European Union. Yes, that's the double strike. Then everybody will be a bit excited about Ukraine, and they will say, oh, Ukraine, oh, well, you drag us into the war, we didn't take the war so seriously, why do you do it? You shouldn't do that. You shouldn't do that, we need the gas. And then, after some weeks, everybody will be quiet again, and now at the moment, Ukraine has anyhow the summer offensive to liberate Kherson. That's the absolute condition. Kherson must be liberated fully. So that's absolutely necessary to get that done. And that will also be done. And then in this summer offensive and in the gas cutoff strikes, there will be maybe some shift of European public opinion for some moments. You know, in the summer we will have to discuss that. It's unfortunate. I would also like to have the European public opinion different, like more supportive of Ukraine, but anyhow it's not. And we have, and for a real victory not, a little bit for, you know, helping the poor, yes, but Ukraine is not a welfare case to help the refugees alone. Yeah, that's also necessary. Yeah? But Ukraine is about victory, good against evil, against that Russian terrible empire, which is so destructive for European history. And they have done these attacks in 2008, 14 and 22, and they are guilty for their attacks. And they must be punished and they must be defeated. This is the way. And Ukraine is our shield. The double strikes will of course hurt the European economy for some time, but not so much. Yeah. You know, we can shift that off, we can change our energy consumption, we can reduce our energy consumption, we can help each other. We are one united European Union, and we can shift the gas supplies. Nobody will be freezing in this winter in the European Union and in the accession countries. Nobody will be in a desperate situation, or nobody at least will be more desperate than the Ukrainians are already. And shame on us that we think only about our gas supplies when the situation is as terrible as it is. This is very beautiful tourism magnet. I will show you this beauty here. It's very, very nice atmosphere in the evening. There's also a hidden swimming pool over there where I've just been. And I released this video in the preparation of the cut-off Thursday, because it's the day where I call that we shall cut off the Russian energy supply completely and forever, because then we will be free. We will be free of this terrible Russian influence. They will no longer have the money to buy our politicians, to corrupt our systems and to poison our environment with the uranium and with all the other gas and oil. We can live without it. And in the transition we buy it better from friendly people. And who trades with the enemy is a traitor. And it's very simple. And Russia is the enemy. If you have any doubt, go there. For me, really, because there's many debates on Twitter about ethnicities in the Balkans, religions, you know, I couldn't care less, you know. For me the question is ultimately, are you for Europe and for Ukraine? You're my friend. Are you with Russia? You can better move to Russia for me and get out of Europe. We don't need traitors who are with Putin. Who is with Putin, unfortunately, has in my view nothing to do in Europe. He's a traitor. I mean, I'm cutting short from calling for imprisoning them, but we should consider that. What I've seen from some people of the Freedom Party, the so-called nationalists, the so-called Freedom Party, you know, they are traitors. They should be treated accordingly. And it's very simple. It's very clear. Yes, beautiful here. Yes. And who has any doubt that Russia is the enemy? I don't know in which continent you have lived the last 200 years or which history lessons you attended, but certainly not in Europe. Yes. Good. We have clarified that on this beautiful afternoon. Look how beautiful that castle is. And yes, I think that's absolutely clear, as I said it already. Good. A wonderful evening here. Very nice atmosphere. Very beautiful. And I repeat, we need the double strike. Black Sea, Baltic Sea, and to have clarity in that beautiful moments. To cut Russia completely from the European economy, buy nothing anymore, and boycott all the trade with Russia. And the consequent readjustment of the economy, if we have not done it up to now, I'm really sorry for that. Maybe we missed something in the last 5 months. And if anybody like the nationalist Party of Austria, I saw this guy yesterday in television, I mean, if they think that the war is over when we give up and surrender, yes. First of all, I don't know if that surrender is now the strategy of the European Union and that we can surrender other countries. Like surrender for Ukraine is of course a complete new thing for me. I don't know how much they would like to give up, you know, how much land they would be ready to sacrifice and how much people. Anyhow, it's bizarre. No good. Let's not talk too much about these fringe groups. Ultimately what is important is to get rid of all this gas which is corrupting our politicians. They don't like that, no, because it's the income. You know, significant part of this revenue is always available for political purposes. But once it's gone, it's gone. And Europe will be free. And this continent will be a much better, much greener, much more beautiful and much more freer and much more secure continent without Russia having the financial possibilities to wage war to buy off our politicians, to corrupt our political systems, to pay our journalists and spread their lies, and also threaten us nuclear posture and all these things they fund with our energy consumption. If they find other consumers, they are then part of this anti-Western alliance, but there's not so many other rich people out there, to my best knowledge, especially in the Russian camp. If you have seen the Shah and the people from the Tsar and the Sultan, a very regrettable meeting, by the way, which has also determined me to campaign against Erdogan's stay in power. But you know, when I think about it, 2024, none of them will be in power. I'm confident. Yeah. So now this little sunset talk is over. I will continue to my beautiful home, and I hope that I was really very clear what we need to do in these beautiful moments to end the Russian gas consumption in Europe. Thanks a lot. All the best from Pax Europiana. Bye.